Good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. Good. Alright, volume's working. How's everyone doing today? Okay, let's get this going. Whew. Gotta love it when things work out in your favor, eh? Oh yeah. Look at that. So let me just show you guys a quick message. Let's see. Where did I put it? Hey, so this is the message that I sent out yesterday. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the message I sent out yesterday. Let's see what's the best spot here. Over here. This now being the third day of back-to-back choppy overnight action. Strong close into gap down and weak close into gap up since Friday. Okay, so this is the message I sent, and we were anticipating. It's funny because what was it? Today is Wednesday. Yeah, so Monday night, as the market closed strong, what we decided to do is get into some UVXC position, and that was a very decent gap up. Let's just take a quick look at that. UVXC, look at that. We close near the end of day. Even if you just do end of day into the gap up, that is already a 8% gap up. What an amazing play on that. Excuse me. And yeah, and then today or last night, what we decided to do is entering TNA just to play that choppiness. And so far, are we glad? Are we ever glad that this is working out in our favor? TNA, look at that, 1.5% gap up from yesterday's close. Whew. All right, let's get into the market first. First one, SPX, same as usual. So what we're looking at here, in my opinion, my personal humble opinion, what I'm thinking here is the potential that the bottom's in. Okay, the potential. Now ultimately what we were looking at before is we're looking at this back test of this previous all-time high. We saw a huge bear volume coming in yesterday, but we did not get to that previous all-time high. So close. Now let's take a look at this. If we got to the 0.5, no we did not. So the 0.5 is lining up with that lower part of the previous all-time high, GP lining up with the key zone down below. So ultimately there is still that possibility, not to mention this one-to-one extension target from the high to the higher low to the lower high is also at that 0.5 as well, the 53.38. So there is still that overhanging cloud of potential touching that. Now, ultimately, the big difference, however, is that right now we are seeing a hold of that 0.382. 45.85.3. Now looking at this, slight close under it on Monday, as a Friday, and then dip being bought, and then slight wicking under it, and dip being bought today. So that brings me to the thinking that the possibility, especially now that the end of month is behind us, the possibility that this dip is temporarily being done, and we're gonna have to see, in my opinion, to circle back on that. In my opinion, is we're gonna need to see what today's action looks like. There's Apple being so strong out there. With Apple being so strong, it might drag the market up. So, in today's morning open market, as the market opens, that first hour is gonna be pretty crucial in when I think about it, if the market is strong in that first hour, I would think that the temporary bottom is now in. So far, pre-market action looks like there's a little bit of a sell-off, but now the dip is being bought. So the market, from the pre-market action, it feels strong. Now remember, it is still not the time to be a zero or a hero. It is not the time to be oversizing on your trades. If you look at this chart, very easy. It's an easy chart to read. What is this? Chop environment, right? Now you're looking at this, going back to almost trying to get to new all-time high. Huge dip, huge buy, huge dip, huge buy. Don't get chopped up. Be patient. Hey, what does our channel say? Patience pays, persistence perfects. So be patient on your trades. Now, personally for me, I have exited all of my bear play positions yesterday. And what an amazing play so far on that. I can't remember when we exactly entered, but UVXC was one of these 2 days. Boom! Huge profits. From here, what we're going to be looking for is potential bullish action. Now, one of the chart that I discussed before, and I'm going to be taking a look at this continuously. Excuse me. Continuously is this QQQ over IWM. QQQ over IWM ultimately is NAS over RUS, and this chart we have been focused on for quite some time now, ever since back here. Actually, ever since back here, the double top of 1.92, double top from way back. If we're looking at the chart here, way back in 2000. This double topped, and now we're coming back up. So very interesting chart. If we're to reach that top again, triple top, forming a triple top, there is a potential that there is going to be a strong weekly bear divergence, meaning RUS should be stronger going forward. But on the shorter time frame that we usually focus on, the daily charts, ultimately we did break that key resistances. Okay, a lot of key resistance have been broken on QQQ over IWM. First being the trend line, short-term trend line, rejection, multiple supports here, another backtest, rejection, and now we've broken bull over it. Not to mention this double top, triple top, whatever you want to call it, GP over here, GP area 1.72, huge bull break. With that being said, the one-to-one extension target is now at 1.88, lining up with that top of the key zone, just under that double top from before. So with that being said, QQQ over IWM is going to be on top watch in determining what it looks like. And timeline wise, I do believe this lines up with that widely anticipated Santa rally. Lining up timing wise, we're looking at, since there's a big gap down today, there's the potential. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, don't know what's happening. I keep coughing today. Anyway, so there's potential of backtest here, going back up into the end of December before coming back down. Okay, so that's what I mean by timing wise. It makes sense. This month is going to be key for QQQ in my opinion. QQQ should see relative strength now that we've broken bull on it, but going forward after that, RUS should see relative strength. Now let's take a look at RUS. $2110. Okay, so RUS is a little bit interesting because there's a potential of that double fake out pattern that we had talked about a lot of times. Okay, breakdown, fake out back here, breakout, fake out. But the problem with it that I have is it did not hold the GP on this pullback. Ultimately, it did break into a new all-time high. Let me just remind you what that looks like on possibility-wise, okay? Let's take a look at this. NVIDIA, okay? Breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, holding that GP, and then boom. Where do we go after that? 134 all the way up to 332, actually a little bit higher, 346. Whew, what an amazing run. That's Nvidia, another one a little bit lagging behind. AMD, similar idea, long-term sideways action, breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out. Actually, there's no clear breakout, fake out on this one. You could say it's this one. I would probably say it's this one. Breakout, fake out, previous all-time high back test, holding that GP, short-term GP, and continuation. 60% run from that GP so far. So that is what I'm looking at for Russ. Breakdown, breakout, not holding the GP, however. So the run might be a little bit weaker, but Russ should remain strong going forward. Good morning. Who do we have here? So that's Russ, Nas, one of the strongest indexes out there. We have not even lost the low from November 10th. Okay, that is very notable because if you look at any other indexes, already way below it. SPX already way below it on Russ. Whoa. That's okay. Wow, that's a huge pullback in order to lose it, hey? And then Dow already way below it as well. Now, Dow also has the very interesting chart of potential for double breakout pattern as well. Breakdown, fake out over here at 35, 37. Breakout, fake out here. Right now we are at the GP. So Dow, you're probably looking at the travel sectors if it's something that you're looking at, but Dow is not something I personally play too often. Just something to note here. And let's see if we ever got to that 1-to-1 extension target. Don't tell me that's where we rejected from. Just above. Wow. Okay. So if that's the case, it's actually, I don't like this one. Let's draw a fib extension of ultimate target wise. I'll probably draw it from here. Wow, look at that. So this is the low that we're drawing from for the fib extension, the higher that we're drawing to for the fib extension, and then the higher low that we're drawing to. So this is a very clear pattern of the one of the legs of the move. So that's why we draw from there. And the GP, look at that GP rejection right on top of that GP. Wow. Now, upon the reversal here, if we're to break over into new all-time high, what you would do, because this is this fib extension ultimately is a longer term prediction. So upon the break of this first resistance, what I would do is change it to the 1-to-1 extension target to find that next one. So if we were to break into new all-time high from 36,569, I would anticipate somewhere around 38,458 as the next one. Now let's see if that lines up with anything. The other short-term fib extension that I would draw would probably be here. So there is something in between. 1-to-1. Okay, I would probably leave it there. Actually, I like the GP. Just remember 38,458. Okay, 38,458. So short-term wise, 39. No. Okay, so the 1 to 1.272 is somewhere around that 38,400 as well. But ultimately, the first resistance we're going to be looking at shorter term wise on Dow will be around 37,462. All right, let's get into some of the tickers. Whew. Oh, we got to cover for sure. It's going to be Apple. Let's take a look at Apple. All-time high in the pre-market with the highest close ever yesterday, with one of the highest volume that we have seen since March. The highest bull volume we've seen since March. Whew. What did I say? Continuation. Oh my goodness. Look at this. back test of previous all-time high. This chart is so ready for continuation. I'm going to be watching for that gap fill today to add into our position. Today, I don't care what the market is going to be doing on this position. Apple's not going to, in my opinion, Apple's not going to care what the market is going to be doing. Now, we are a little bit extended on the daily, so that is a slight concern. So with that, if you're adding, probably give it a little bit more time or just do it via common shares. That would be the game plan on Apple today. Really love the chart. I can see this continue for quite some time. Now remember, long-term sideways action on this one as well. Slight break, coming back to back test this previous all-time high, and now we're back. Now we're breaking over again with an immediate back test. Okay, so should see follow through. Now what's another ticker that's Tesla? Always gotta discuss Tesla, right? Okay, so there is still that wedge potential. Oh, there's one messy chart. Strong bounce, 2.786 rejection, and then holding the GP. So the chart is very strong. Okay, so I already have that drawn. Why is it off a little bit? Oh. 6260, okay. Right, so once this upper trend line, this short-term potential upper trend line is broken, what we'll be looking at is new all-time high on Tesla, looking at 1285. Tesla's going to remain on top watch. No current positions, just because the risk reward doesn't really make sense to me, especially that we're close to that upper trend line. We need a little bit more action in order to determine this, and I do believe that there is a potential of a wedge forming up here to give a better play risk to reward wise. No rush into this. AEL. That's a interesting chart. Let's take a look at AEL. American Airlines. Oh, look at where it's bouncing from. Money line. Oh, missed this. Missed it yesterday. Look at the double wick. I was looking at this chart yesterday. As when I was looking at it, it was red, and it was near that double bottom. So then I sort of looked away, and now looking at this, might have to redraw the trend line. 16.9, 16.92. Ooh. There is a chance for a triple bottom coming to that 16.92, but as the way it stands right now, let's see if this still works. Yeah, never broke down under, so that still works. What an amazing bottom to be playing on the AEL. Extended on the daily, near oversold on the daily. With this bounce now, it's going to cool it off. So the opportunity, in my opinion, is already gone. It's looking at this, the bounce play opportunity already missed majority of the move. Gapping up today, 6.5%. Now I would rather give it a little bit more time watching to see if there's going to be a daily bear flag coming up, and ultimately if we were to touch this money line again, there might be a play, but right now you're in the middle of in between daily 8 as well as the money line, the play where the play is coming from. Risk to reward does not make sense. Long-term sideways action, losing that key support. Yeah, very concerning. Could very well see a daily bear flag from here. Morning, miner. Long time no see. Yeah, market gapping up. It's something that we anticipated. The message I sent out in our Slack group, just to show you since you missed it here. This is the message I sent out yesterday morning. Yeah, so I always send out a message before the market opens, and in here I said, Now this being the third back-to-back choppy overnight action, strong close to gap down. So if you were to look at SPX, now this is actually a very clear pattern that we had discovered even on November 29th. What was that, Monday? Yeah, so Monday end of day we entered UVIXI, and that was an amazing play. And yesterday we entered TNA towards the end of day. So far that's been an amazing play. But that's just something that, you know, choppy market. You look at this, it actually started on Thursday. Strong close, broke over resistance, broke over that 4700 key resistance I was talking about on what is this? Friday. I thought there was a 1 day off yesterday. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Wednesday broke over that 4700. Thursday market was closed, and then Friday big gap down. So technically Thursday market's closed. Technically was a strong close over resistance on Wednesday into gap down Friday, and then weak close on Friday, get into gap up on Monday, and then strong close Monday, gap down Tuesday. Yeah. So it was a pattern that we discovered. So yeah, idea there. Yeah. Ultimately, right now we are still remaining in choppy market, and we are seeing that big potential of sector rotation. Actually, you can even see this in the pre-market very, very clearly right now. Let's take a look at this NAS 5-minute chart. You see how this is in a downtrend now. 5-minute chart trend reversal into new lows. Just lost that key support 16,355, 356. Just made new low here versus, whew, look at this. Russ, strong bullish action. Ooh, Nas bears really coming in now. Okay, yeah, so Russ, strong bullish action so far. And how do we determine this play? Just to quickly discuss it. You know, you're looking at this drop. Ultimately, Russ was one of the weakest charts on the pullback, pulling back before the market started pulling back and further than the market pulled back. So on that, you know, there is a stronger balance to be anticipated on Russ. That's why we're playing TNA, which is triple leverage bullish play on Russell. QQQ puts will be in a good for and SPY puts. So if you're looking at QQQ puts and SPY puts, one other thing I discussed is I probably will avoid QQQ puts, you know, on the shorter time frame, just because we're looking at, when you look at the QQQ IWM chart, the QQQ does need to cool down. We are slightly overbought on that daily, reaching overbought on that daily, extended on that daily as well, but ultimately we did break over the key trend line as well as GP and key resistance area over here. You can see lots of resistances over here. So we did break over it. So this is what I'm anticipating on QQQ over IWM. On the shorter time frame, we might see a little bit weaker on QQQ, but ultimately into the Santa rally, potential of Santa rally, we'd be looking at, you know, a bounce from this trend line after the back test. Okay, yeah. Morning, Darren. All right, so let's take a look at actually, there's another message that I wanted to share with you guys. So within this, this is another message that I shared yesterday, midday kind of thing. All right. No, a little bit more. So with JPEL hawkish, I do believe this might affect the market on the longer time frame, but we're gonna have to see whether the Santa rally is still gonna stay true, because ultimately the end of the month action is behind us now, and from what, you know, there's a few good ways to play this environment, and by this environment what I mean is the daily choppiness on here. Okay, so towards the end of the day, you know, you could always, first of all, always reduce your sizing on all plays during this type of choppy environment. Second, you could use volatility plays, whether it was VIX, VXX, UVXC, to hex your bull positions into the end of the day close kind of thing, such as we did on Monday. And then Third is sticking to intraday scalps and not hold any long positions. But my personal habit is more so to hold longer positions. Ideally, I want to let them develop. You know, looking at Apple, whoo, what an amazing. It's hey, short term wise on Apple, 15-minute is the guide. Okay, I would probably use the 30-minute more ideal. Yeah, so 30-minute you can see both leg bounce, both legs slightly lost under. So always give it a little bit of room from that guide, whatever you're using, 30-minute 8, 15-minute 8. Give it a little bit of room, and immediately bought up. And now we are seeing trying to hold the 15-minute 8. Yeah, so that's Apple. But yeah, always consider hedging if you are swinging. But as for now, I am out of all my bear play positions. $460 SPY. Oh wow, good for you. $460 SPY calls for today, hey? Congrats, man. Let's see. 88. There's a chance. So right now, remember, we are still in choppy market. Okay, so if there's gonna be, since there is a gap up, always take some profits, but there is that possibility we're gonna revisit that 88 today on SPX. Ultimately, I am still looking at backtest of that previous all-time high. There is still that possibility, the 1-to-1 extension target from back here, the high to the higher low to the lower high, that indicates 45.38, as well as if we're to change this to the 0.5, that also indicates 45.36, just around that same area. So all the targets are still pointing towards that area. We did not touch it yet, but the chart is so strong right now. We are still holding that 0.386. So today's action, that first hour, is going to be very important to determine what is going to happen for the rest of the day. But today overall is also going to be very important to determine what's going to happen into the rest of the week. Then with the rest of the week should determine what's going to happen into the rest of the month. So overall, this week is going to be very key to determine what the market is going to do, whether there's going to be a Santa rally or not. Pattern you mentioned. Gonna get paid, eh? Hey, regardless, congrats, miner. Very happy for you. Okay, so that's SPX. Hey, we got any tickers that we're looking at? I discussed Apple, Tesla. Actually, today, as mentioned in our last video, whenever that was, I believe is Monday. Oh wait, no, I didn't mention it. I mentioned it in our Slack chat group. By the way, there is free memberships to our Slack chat group now. Now, the free membership is limited to certain chat rooms only. So if you prefer full access, we do still have that 7-day trial that I decided to keep it on. So make sure to check it out. Links are in description below. But yeah, Amazon is on my personal top watch today, just because I wanted to determine a first entry. Now, most ideal first entry is going to be around this GP. This lower trend line, very key support. You know, we're looking at this breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, and the double GP hold. We will see new all-time high. There is no doubt on this one. And you know, just as again, I cannot emphasize this enough. You know, looking at Nvidia, classic long-term sideways, breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, holding the GP. Look how far it's run from that GP, 134 all the way to 346, I believe it was, somewhere around there. But yeah, so this is what I'm anticipating. AMD is that next one, is currently running. Ultimately, very, very, very strong. Disregarding what the market is doing, there is not even a single pullback on this while the market is pulling back. AMD, oh man, it's so hard to find an entry. I want to find an entry on this on the daily higher low, but it is just grinding up on that daily 8. So this is what I'm looking at for Amazon. I want to do a long position on this, and initial position I might actually even enter today, disregarding what the hell is happening in the market, you know, just to do a comment share, go first light common share position on Amazon, and then add it if we do get to this 3460, 3444 area GP lining up with the trend line for a little bit of a heavier add on common positions, and then this, if we were to reverse from here, then that will add into option plays. So that's the game plan on Amazon, but ultimately Amazon should not be taken off of your chart. I don't put it onto our new revived weekly stock pick videos because it's not reversed yet. So I didn't put it into this week's, but over the long term, if we had a monthly stock pick video, this would be on that video. Amazon, top watch, always. Alongside Tesla now, actually. What's another good potential charts? Hey, I just want to bring this to you guys' attention. I don't know if you guys Discord cost per month. If you can have free membership forever, but let me just show you what it looks like. We're gonna lose our comment link here, but this is what it looks like. So we have multiple. Where can you see? Oh. Sorry, I have to line this up properly here. A little bit more. There we go. Okay, so this is what you can expect. If you're thinking of joining our we don't use Discord, by the way. It's Slack. Very very similar idea, but a little bit more professional in my opinion. It's a little bit more professional, easier to manage, a little bit more clean looking. So with that, there's multiple rooms on the side here, very similar to Discord. Main is where we're looking at. If you're looking at the unlimited free membership, you'll have access to all these unlocked channels, which Main, I'll share the morning messages, the key messages, as well as a ticket request for now, until if it does blow up, then we're gonna, or demand start rising, then we're gonna move into other places. And then news and scalp and autos, so far. So we just started this channel, and so far it's 5 out of 5 on the scalp and autos so far. And as to show you an idea of what the paid membership looks like, this is my personal trades, TC trades, and we can see. So just did a semi-monthly accountability check yesterday, end of the month. So semi-monthly from November 16th to November 30th, 23 out of 26 trades correct. And yeah, so there's something you can expect. And then if you do the annual, there's also, as long as possible, as long as I am able to, I will do one-on-one coaching with you guys as well for free. And yeah, so let's take a look at, let's resume here. Sorry for that disturbance. Couple of tickers I want to look at since you're here, Darren. Let's take a look at your GLD. Actually, before we take a look at GLD, we're going to take a look at the underlying. Okay, the underlying is gold. GLD is not a miner, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, so we'll take a look at gold. So gold, we had, now you mentioned that gold does not move too volatile for what you like, but I would argue a little bit different, just depending on what your entry and exits look like. So we had played gold, I can't remember if it was once or twice, and it's based on, now this is a little bit harder to see because numbers everywhere. So let's do the weekly chart. So we had played gold back here. Yeah, from back here. I know that's the most recent play that we had, and I did discuss it in our videos with this play over here as well. So it's ultimately the same pattern, long-term sideways action, huge breakout into new highs, and then there is that key support from the previous high that you see bounce, bounce, bounce. 3 plays in that last time that the gold popped. Okay, so there should be one more looking at this chart. Sideways action, bull flag, huge breakout, very similar chart, and we saw back test. So this was a first low that we needed before playing to determine where that previous all-time high sorry, not even all-time high, previous high back test was gonna be. So we did not play this first wick, and then when it came back for that double bottom, that's where we played. So on this play itself, let's just take a quick look. We entered, I know it was near the top because there was this trend line that was already developed. We did not nail the top, so somewhere around here, 13% over 8 weeks. Yeah, I guess that is very slow. Ultimately, with gold, I would rather play options, but we need certainty to play options. So with that being said, gold, what I'm looking at potential wise, because we are rejecting from this long-term trend line again, which is very, very annoying. If we were to not hold the support right now, okay, that's 1772. If we're not holding this support alongside this trend line, excuse me, we should be able to tell whether we're going to hold by the end of the week. This week, we are still seeing a little bit of a chop around it. If we don't hold the support, I would anticipate another touch for that potential third play that we discussed. 1, 2, 3. So there could be a very nice play on that third play. Just be very careful, because looking at the chart, first 2 plays was a very single wick. So very similar here. The first one is a double touch instead, which was very nice for our play. But ultimately, it's like 2 minor touches versus the third touch. There's going to be a little bit more choppiness around it before the actual move. So there is still that potential there for that third play. Okay, so watch it on gold. Long-term wise, you could see short-term bearish action before a bullish move. But any bullish play on this, with confidence, you're gonna want a break over this upper trend line here. Actually, I might set an alert on this one. Why not? Yeah, just set an alert on this upper trend line. Easy play. On the bull break, there could be a very nice move. Let's actually quickly look at US, our leading indicators. US dollar, little bit of a pullback. Weekly does need, so weekly is extended, and we are seeing rejection from this trend line from way back. Where is it? Wow, very strong trend line. Lots of support again. Broke down under immediate backtest before another low, and now we're seeing a rejection on it again. So we are gonna be watching for that weekly higher low. This would also line up with that potential Santa rally. Wow. Yeah, so US dollar is looking a little bit bearish on the shorter term. US 10 years bear break, back testing today. There could be, remember this is a little bit further out of the forecast indicator wise. Head and shoulders potential. Neckline being broken yesterday. Let's see if we get that follow through today going into tomorrow. We are a little bit extended on the daily already. VIX, huge gap down. I love this play though. Look at this. We enter somewhere here. Huge gap up. Took so much profits here. And then a huge gap down. Re-entry. Gap up. Wow. VIX, as long as it's trading over this trend line, there is still that concern of market going further down. Okay. Or actually the shorter term wise, as long as it's trading over that daily 8. You can see on the move up, ever since we got over it, we have not came back down under the daily 8 yet. So daily 8 is the guide on VIX. Gold we talked about. Hey, thank you, Darren. Thank you for the vouch. Bitcoin we have not discussed in quite some time. So let's take a look here. We held the 0.5. Oh, weekly bear divergence, eh? Yeah, weekly bear divergence. There's so many. Let's clean this up. There's so many fibs on here. Jesus. $1.121.272 did not get there. Okay. So if we're to hold the 0.5 here, reversal, we're going to need to break over first sign to break over, we're gonna need a close over 58, roughly about 58,500. If we were to get a close over it, and then there's a potential for that today, 58,500, we could see further bullish action, because ultimately this is going to be a strong 0.5 bounce. Did not even come back to backtest this previous trend lines. As of right now, I am still anticipating further downside on this chart. Sideways action. Is it a weekly bear flag? No, not yet. So weekly wise, strong weekly bear divergence. Be very careful on Bitcoin, but as the way it stands right now, it is still a strong chart. We are still seeing support at the 0.5. Okay, not even the GP, 0.5. So that's Bitcoin. What do you guys have? Hey, you guys don't have any tickers you guys want to see? Labu is another one that we... Where'd it go? Labu. Three times bull. Okay. So descending wedge, very clear descending wedge. Where is that lower trend line? Maybe not very clear. Okay. See how it's trying to hold that trend line? Okay, so there should be something along here. Nope. The upper trend line is a little bit harder to find. Somewhere around here. This one didn't work, but that's close enough. Okay, so a little bit more so a descending channel. Ultimately, it's a wedge, but this could go long term to the downside. You know, just slowly grind down, so that on this kind of chart, it does make sense. As long as there's no COVID scare, you know, this could see long-term sideways or downside action. Where did I draw this from? Huh. Labu, I can see a bounce play on this. Ooh, gapping up too. I like the chart. Already. Trend reversal potential coming up. We're gonna need to break over. This is not so clear. First break we need is 44.13. Following that, I wouldn't really care about this one as much. I want to see a break over 47.28. So I've set an alert on this one. 30-minute, we are... Trend is confirming reversal on 30-minute already. Yeah, 44.13 would be the key to break. I would anticipate a back test of this area. 42.49. That would potentially be the entry. So let's set an alert over there. 42.46, 42.49, whatever around that area. A little bit bearish action coming in the market. Skills. BITF. So gold is a minor, but GLD is not, right? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, gold. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. I don't think it does. It matters which one you're playing, whether it's minor or not. Maybe minor does make a little bit of difference, but ultimately it's going to be based on the gold itself. You know, watch for that third touch. That would be the play. As of right now, if you're holding commons, I would think of doing a stop just under yesterday's low or the day before's kind of thing. This is a very key support. If this is lost, we're going to be losing the short-term trend line as well and coming back to that support. Okay, the other one, BITF. Oh, love the chart. I love this chart. So right now I have a straddle alert set on it. Actually, I should probably look into the difference of those two. So strangle alert on set on BITF. I do not want to see a loss of $7, and that's why the alert is set below $7. And I want to see a break above 840. As of right now, until those two levels are broken, there is no concern on the chart. If you're looking at the daily, you know, daily is not a daily bull flag anymore. But oh man, what a sexy chart. It's a weekly bull flag. Okay, it's a weekly bull flag, decreasing volume, very classic. We might see another week or two. So when we first entered this trade, you know, I mentioned we might see another week or two of sideways action before an actual breakout. But that weekly 8, whew, looks amazing. It's above that $7 key support, key area I want to see hold now. So as long, I would use the week. No, I would still use $7. Weekly A is not too far apart. 701, so same thing. Yeah, BitF 780, $7 and 780 key to break. Dow. Oh, skills. Been a long time since we looked at skills. Shorting Tesla. Never short Tesla. Never short Tesla, man. I've tried that so many times and it just got wrecked. I guess depending on your time frame. Depending on the time frame that you're looking at, how was it gonna be a scalp that you're thinking? Yeah, I would have. Let's put it this way. Personally, I have completely given up on ever shorting Tesla ever again. Okay, unless there is some huge fundamental change, huge news, or something that is prolonged. For example, you know, for example, on the market wise, that hawkish interest rate that I do believe is going to be a prolonged burden on the market. So something like that on Tesla, then maybe I'll consider shorting it. But ultimately right now, no way. You look at this chart, look at the Tesla chart. So I will go back to the skills just because Tesla, it's always on top watch, right? So you look at this chart, do you want to short it? No, never. I don't really want to short it. We are extended from this money line. We are extended from this strong support resistance line. So we should see a back test of it, but I'm not gonna be playing that. I wouldn't play that personally. Skills, let's take a look. Loss of GP. Trying to hold that 0.786. Wow, this is a weak chart. So I had the alert set up here because I wanted to see a trend reversal. There is still that possibility of the trend reversal, but the chart is weak. See, and this is actually, thank you for requesting this, Darren, because this is a very classic example of why we try to play confirmation versus trying to nail the bottom. You know, you try to nail the bottom here. There's no bold divergence. Yeah, you try to nail the bottom here, no bold divergence. You might get the pop depending on if you sell or not. It goes lower, and then now there's a bold divergence. Very nice, strong daily bold divergence. We gonna need to see that trend reversal soon, ideally today. Oh, come on. Okay, strong bold divergence on the daily. And then, you know, if you try to play the breakout of this previous high, so this was the key to break for that trend reversal. So we did break it, didn't see much follow through, and that's why I set the alert above 1250. And now we're pulling back a lot more than ideal. We lost that GP on the reversal. Ideally, you want to see a hold of the GP. So the chart is a little bit weak, but we are seeing slight daily bear flag formation. So as way I stand, just want to quickly check this. Yeah, that makes sense. So I will set the alert around here, 937. If we were to break over it, might look for an entry. Skills. See how much money we saved by not playing this first breakout? If we were to play a first breakout, your entry would be around that 1154, or you're trying to nail the bottom, your entry would be around $10. But now we can set our alert at that $10 with confidence, not tying up our cash for, where is this? Not tying up our cash for 72 trading days, August, 3 months. Yeah, so set an alert just around that $10 mark. If the bull breaks, then we will look for an entry. Dow. Nas is still bearish. Russ is pulling back a little bit. SPX indecision. Oh, market's almost open. We got 8 minutes. Okay, so Dow, new chart. Ooh, gapping up. Support bounce. Relatively weak support. Chart looks a little bit weak. There's potential for that gap fill. So we are seeing decent lower wicks here. Decent bull volume coming in. Gap up today. There is definitely a short-term play. We are a little bit extended here, near reaching that daily oversold. 4 hours definitely oversold. No bull divergence on it, however. Already there is no bull divergence on it either. But ultimately, if we were to break over, I would say 37. Yeah, if we were to break over 37, there is that increased possibility of seeing that gap fill play up all the way until 38.85. So the short-term trade is there. Let's find some key zones here. Back test. I don't like how wide this key zone is, but okay, so we never came back to back test here, and now we finally came back. So this could be, and that also means it could be a very nice spot for first entry on the long position, because never came back to back test. Now we are back testing with that gap to fill above. Did lose that money line, however. I don't like this money line actually. There's no actually, let's try this one. Ah, there we go. Support, support, support. Lost it. Immediate back test. Another back test. A little bit of a chop and another back test. So we are trading under that key trend line. And now remember, first entry, potential ideal first entry over here for the long position. And the second addition for the long position will probably be somewhere around here. So you will set an alert above or just on this trend line. There's a lot of room to move on this. 2. Yeah. Very decent play on this. Shorter term as well as longer term. Personally, I wouldn't be touching it just because we did lose those supports. So as mentioned, I wouldn't be touching it at least, if I were looking to play this, at least until the break above 37, which is the key zone. So that's Dow. Otherwise, you go broke. Right, I think let's keep it at that for today. Let's keep it at that. Thank you for tuning in, Miner. Thank you for tuning in, Darren. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Quick mention actually was thank you for all your support. We are now at 250 subs, so keep an eye out for that video to come out. In this video, I'm gonna quickly mention for the keywords that you're gonna need for the contest, and that is gonna be a few tickers. Let's say Ying, which we forgot to discuss. Ying, Matterport, FSell. Let's do that. Ying, Matterport, FSell. Okay, and I'm gonna make a note of it. Again, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check us out at totalcontroltraders.com. I will see you in the next video.